Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma 221 here, back in day to do a bit of a different video here on the channel. I mean, I say different video when it is a video I sort of already do, but just in a different sort of form factor this time. As you can probably tell by the not only the title of this video, but also like the thumbnail and everything else. Today I'm going over Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 51 of 2024 here. And you may be like, oh, okay, so you're going to sit down and talk about anywhere from all 15 chapters you read this week to, like 6 or even 4 of them. Just sort of talk about the ones you really liked and just forget about the other ones and just rank them all here on your spreadsheet at the very end of the video. I'm doing that, but not quite really. I'm going to talk about this jump issue because I thought it was a very fascinating jump issue with a lot of different things going on. Like I said, I had 15 series to talk about, really just 14 because Ruri Dragon not only barely counts as a jump series, being that it is a jump digital exclusive series, but at the same time, it is also the 24.1 chapter, being that obviously the author of Ruri Dragon needed a bit of a break this week because we saw it happen after they posted 6 chapters. They just couldn't keep up to the Weekly Shonen Jump form schedule. And hey, completely understandable. I mean, hey, here recently the Kagurabachi author had to do that. We've seen Horikoshi, manga are very overworked people, and I think we all understand that as lovers and enjoyers of Jump, right? But instead of sitting down here and just going over, hey, here's what happened in Undead Unlock, Hunter x Hunter, Kagurabachi, Ruri Dragon, Kill Blue, Ichi the Witch, Shinobi Undercover, Syd Craft, Love is a Mystery, which is a new series this week, Astro Royale, Hematin, Ultimate Exodus Kyoshi, Akane Banashi, Blue Blocks, and The Elusive Samurai, I just figured, hey, why not? I want to put my thoughts on this issue of Jump out there just because, I want to stay consistent with that, even if it isn't, the regular thing. So I just figured, hey, why don't I just record the process of me sitting down here and putting all of that stuff onto my spreadsheet here. As we see, issue number 41 came out on the 11th, or on the 17th of November of 2024. We are currently sitting at the 12th of December, so this issue came out about a month ago, so I'm that behind on Jump, so I'm like, hey, let me get caught up and to not, record a big, long video that could take anywhere from, 40 minutes to, 2 hours and 30. Let me just not do that, and I figured, hey, let's record a small little thing here. But yeah, like I said, just don't be really simple here, just ranking all of the chapters. This is personally how I rank the chapters every week. Just go down the list for, say, okay, Undead Unlock, what I think about this chapter. I actually thought it was pretty neat. This chapter really reminds me of, those times when playing a D&D campaign, when, all of a sudden, all of your players have, just a super substantial turn where all of a sudden, everything is wiped out. Because in this Unlock chapter, that is really what happened. I mean, Julia and Victor now are all here, and she now has Unjustice. So it's oh my gosh, here it is. And then Fuko just uses Remember, and it's okay, this has been built up, but it's crazy, it's happening so fast, and it's boom, here we go. And oh, look at that. I think War was taken out, Time was taken out, we saw Luck and Death. I think Bunny just got sick at some point where it's okay, that just happened off screen. But also, sort of seeing all of the characters work together, be oh yeah, Billy, you were supposed to be our master in Under, yada yada yada. And now, did it nerf you? There is a bunch of really cool moments in this week of Undead Unluck, so definitely in the higher tier bracket up here. Hunter x Hunter was the whole thing of hey, Morina and this other random person, we are going to be playing cards, and these cards will decide our fate if you join us or not. It's it was fine, but it was definitely a middle of the pack chapter. Kagurabachi, super good, but I'm a big Kagurabachi fan. I love that series, think it's fascinating, but really, it was good this week, but I also think that I was dulled a little bit by knowing all this information from getting spoiled on it. I was not spoiled on any of these other series, but Kagurabachi of oh no, Aruha died due to Somber's hands, and I'm ah, damn it, come on. I felt this moment would have hit so much harder if I just read it in the moment, or read it weekly, as we learned last time, oh my god, why can hear Hiko use Kumeori? Oh my god, it's crazy. And now just getting to this point where it's damn it, I sort of wish I had this experience of reading it new and fresh, which is no reason I want to get caught up on Jump to not be spoiled on Kagurabachi. I hate being spoiled like this. Kagurabachi, I'll put it low top tier for sure. Ruri Dragon, I don't know if I can actually count this chapter. Let me go back here. Yeah, we'll just throw it here underneath. Actually, I don't think we've had any special chapters this year. I know 2022 we had like a bunch of special chapters. Yeah, we just list them here underneath the character of the week, which I already picked out a character of the week here for this week. So yeah, that's pretty cool to know because like I'm reading the chapter. We'll get down to Blue Box towards the end of where I can talk about that. But yeah, we're just gonna put Ruri Dragon. What is it, 24.1? I'm not going to rank it because we got like a really, really cute illustration of Ruri, and that was really it. Yeah, we're just going to close that up and just put it back up here. All right. So yeah, we've got pretty much 14 series this week, not 15 being that. Ruri Dragon, I'm sorry, you do barely count at the end of the day. Kill Blue, golly, what even happened in Kill Blue? You had those idol family be like, oh, you're going to do this. Oh, yeah, the ending was like Otagami going like, hey, let's go and attack them. If they're going to be being idols and stuff, then we'll assassinate their business or something. Like, what was the wording? I'm going to have to cut out this part where the panel is, but yeah. The wording is here. Let's read it. Oh, yeah. We need to bring in a bunch of customers, right? Well, this ain't over. If they're going to be idols, we just have to be assassins. And it's like, okay, Otagami, we understand you're an edgy teenager. You did not have to tell us more about that. We already know, my man. But it's pretty funny. Yeah, pretty good there. But yeah, no. Kill Blue. It's definitely like one of the bottom rungs, but I don't know if it is the lowest here. Let's just remove these as we do them. Ichi the Witch was very interesting. Like, this felt like a big, like, build-up chapter for Ichi the Witch of, like, hey, we just had this previous confrontation. What is her name? Marigold, who is the, like, head of the Mantinal Witches Association. Of course, Shir Bendona sitting down and talking with each other, and eventually leading and building up to this whole thing of, like, okay, what was her name? The, Silver Snow Witch? It was something like something ice, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go into the chapter and figure it out. Yeah, Toge Ice, which is like Togemon from Digimon, and then the word ice on the end. Yeah, Toge Ice. Very much. I really like her design, all things considered. And eventually having the whole thing of like, oh yes, Ichi should have practical experience, or no, a proper education. Which one is it? Really fun dynamic between her and Descaros there, because of course they seem like very different witches. And, okay, we're going to have them face off against each other and trying to hunt down this apparently mushroom magic as it presumes to be. I don't know. I find this really, really interesting because, I mean, we know as a character, I mean, it will not be as interesting from a series perspective to have Ichi go and actually be a student. But that also could be like a good like subjectation of expectations or whatever I was meant to say there, but I didn't say properly of like, hey, let's have Ichi go to the school and maybe he will sort of excel, but he'll also meet like that girl from his village who was like going to the Mantinal Witches Association to be like, oh yeah, you're Ichi, right? I don't know, it could be a little bit of a fun thing there, and then maybe Ichi actually excels in it. Or maybe Toga Ice realizes, yeah, this kid is not meant for school. Even I can't mold him. So maybe it is better to let his emotions run wild in the battlefield. I don't know. It's really interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens with Ichi the Witch going forward here. But not a bad chapter by far. It and Kagurabachi felt very similar. Like, we're going to put a bit under Kagurabachi. Because it was like, it was good, but like, I don't quite know what we're going for here. Shinobi Undercover. It was fine. What was this guy's name? Hachikuma. Is just obliterating everybody, being like, oh man, he's so powerful with his strings. Not even the, what is his name? Habari? No, Umeko. Yeah, Umeko couldn't even see it coming. Oh my god, this is crazy. And then, like, Yodaka is, like, saving the day here all of a sudden because he's super powerful. It's insane. And, oh no, they seem to get, what is her name? Oi? Yeah, Oi? Yeah, whatever. It's a fine enough chapter. It's definitely on the bottom rungs there. Oh boy. Next up is Syd Craft, Love is a Mystery, man. Gosh. This chapter is so conflicting with me from just reading the first chapter of it. Because number one, we're sitting down here and just reading it, and I'm like, okay. This is by Taishi Tsutsui, the guy who did We Never Learn. I enjoyed We Never Learn. I read it. It was I read it right after I read Nisekoi, and I'm like, yeah, I really enjoyed this series. It's fun, and like, I've got one manga volume of it. The one manga volume, or oh crap, what was her name? Gosh, I'm gonna go grab my manga volume now. Oh, where is it on the shelf? There we go. We Never Learn, number 19 by Taishi Tsutsui. Oh yeah, why can I not remember her name right now? I know it's on here. If it is, yeah, Fumino. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've sat down and even thought about We Never Learn. But yeah, no, I owned a 19 volume because like she was my favorite girl, and it's like because Taishi Tsutsui made the move of like, hey, I may as well have like an ending for Ichiro, which I definitely think is something that he did not want to do. It's something like, all right, yeah, we're going to make, oh crap, oh man, what was her name? This is showing the side of Glowplasma, and it's like, boy, I don't barely remember these names. Oh gosh, what was her name? It was Aruka, yeah, Aruka. Like she was supposed to be the one that won Yuega's heart, and then it's like, okay, that's all nice and well, but Shonen Jump needs to make sure their series stay alive, and We Never Learned was not. It was slowly dying off for the fact of it was ending, and they're like, hey, we cannot let this happen. And then it's like, okay, we have all 5 of the roots, especially the one of Kirsu, which is like, come on, we did not need that. And it's like, all right, now, oh no, here is the 6th one where everybody gets together. It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's funny. So I was sort of going into this series being like, okay, that's interesting, and it's a detective story, which is pretty cool, but it's also weird that we've had 2 Jump detective comedy manga this year in, what is it, Super Psychic Policeman Shoujo, which is a series that I have actually not personally got invested in. I mean, I read the first 3 chapters whenever it came out and then just dropped it, being that like, yeah, I don't really care that much, but I don't know. A lot of people seem to like it, and I may need to jump back into it because I do like the main character's design, and it does look pretty cool, but yeah, Syd Craft, it's another detective manga, and it's like, okay, here, we got this really good detective, and I do like the joke that gets presented in this chapter, like, all right, everybody I love is like a murderer, and then like that being the big punchline at the end of the chapter. I mean, it sort of actually like drug me off of my seat when I'm like, okay, let me look at this. Let me actually move my cursor on my computer too to like make it just as visually interesting to watch. I'm sitting here with We Never Learn, or not We Never Learn, it's with Syd Craft. I'm like, okay, here's what we got. We got this subjectation of expectation, like, all right, this guy loves romance novels. And then, of course, at the very end of the chapter, we learned that his whole thing is like, yeah, there's this girl from a long time ago who I made a promise with, which is like, okay, we are now getting into, like, Bakuman. What is the other series? So, yeah, Shoha Shoten, which is illustrated by Obata. Or Oba, whichever one of the two it is. It's like, it's got that same trope, like, oh man, his childhood friend. And we learn that that's his assistant is that childhood friend. And then the inspector is that childhood friend. And then the assistant is like, oh no, it's a girl who's hiding their identity as a guy to be an apprentice to Syd. It's like, really? I mean, it's so funny and so stupid. But I don't know, just something about it just didn't quite hit with me as much as I wanted it to. Like, I love a good detective story. One of my favorite anime airing right now is actually Ranko Kamanohashi Deranged Detective. It was actually probably my anime of the year for 2023. I mean, Heavenly Delusion came out that year. There was a bunch of good stuff that came out last year, but just that first season of Ranko Kamanohashi, man, I don't know why. I just ate it up completely. I just loved every second of it. And the second season is airing now, and I just love it, and I love that detective story. And I think the detective story we sort of got here in the first chapter of Syd Craft was fine, but it was not amazing at the end of the day. It was sort of like, okay, that's cool. But to the very joke of like, oh yes, I did kill my husband. And everybody's just like so nonchalant about it. Like, I don't know. It seems fun, and I definitely going to read like the next 2 chapters because like, of course I will, but like, I don't know. It didn't just hook me as much as I was hoping it would, knowing it was by Taishi Tsutsui. And it does just seems like, all right, it's going to be a detective comedy romance sort of deal. Like, that's what we should expect. It's like really a detective rom-com is what we are getting here, which, okay, that's fine. But I was sort of wanting a little bit more from it in a way, but it is what it is. We're going to see what Taishi gives us in the next 2 chapters, because I love We Never Learn. I thought it was a really good series. Besides for the Eating with the Roots, but I think that was Suacious thing. I don't think that was what Taishi Tsutsui wanted to do for the series, but is what it is. Syd Craft, I'm going to put in the solid middle of the pack. Astro Royale. A really, actually great chapter of Astro Royale. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I can sometimes be like a big Astro Royale hater at some points, but like, this chapter was pretty fun. It's like, the lows of Astro Royale are pretty low, but the peaks are pretty high. And I don't think this was a peak, but I thought this was a very good moment, all things considered. I mean, we have Genji, who is... Oh gosh, why can I not remember names? Hibaru, who is the female lead? There's like Hibaru. There is... Oh gosh, why can I not remember her name right now? Okay. We're gonna have to pull up the chapter, which means more editing I've got to do in this video, which is like, oh god, I hate editing, but... whatever. Okay, let me find this stupid name real quick. Yeah, her name's Furokugi. Kinpa. Yeah, Kinpa. I don't know why I could not remember that name for the life of me there. But yeah, no. Kinpa. I now remember it, but I did not then. Yeah, seeing Kinpa's whole thing of like, okay, her and her relationship with Genji, the role that Genji had on Point Zero, learning more about Himuro, him interviewing Torazo there. It's just some really, really good stuff, I think, until eventually getting that whole thing of like, Kinpa's like, hey, how can I beat up Himuro? And Genji's like, hey, you can do it, but like, we're not going to do this with violence. And then knowing how Kinpa and Hibaru's relationship work together till she has now found out this new part of her power with her using her compact, and it reflects light and melts the ice, and then it's heat, which is the mortal enemy of ice, as we all know, and from like Pokemon logic. I don't know. I thought it was a really cool chapter, all things considered, and like, the very end of the chapter, I love how like we're building up Himuro even more. I should say building up, because Himuro is not that good of a bad guy. We're gonna all be real for ourselves here. But building him up to be just like this complete loser. He's like, oh no, heat! Oh no, what will I ever do? I don't know. I just really like how he's being built up as this absolute loser and guy who nobody should like, because he's such an asshole. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good chapter of Astro Royale, and I'm not complaining at all. We're going to put it probably around this Kagurabachi Ichi the Witch tier, but it may go above, it may go below. We're going to have to see how I feel in a second. Hematin, really cute. More stuff between Kanai and Iamori. Just, they're going back and forth. Whole bingo thing, and hey, they're going to be up on the observation deck, but they lost so bad that they had to do karaoke, and like, this whole other thing of like, oh man, Hamari has now introduced this lipstick into the whole game that they've got to wear around their crush, so... It was a fun chapter of Hematin for sure, but I just don't really have a lot to say on this one. Just really cute, really fun, middle of the pack. Definitely above Syd Craft, but we will rank them all here in a second. Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi. Oh gosh, I don't know why I'm even waiting on it. Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi is just so completely fun. It's going up there at the top no matter what. Just seeing like the back and forth that, what was his name? Asura Roth or something, or Akura Roth or something, whatever it was. Just going back and forth with Kyoshi, back and forth, and then like learning more about you, this whole thing of like, yes, we knew that he was the orchestrator of this, but now learning more about it. Seeing with Isaki's like, hey, you don't have to worry about him, he's the ultimate Exorcist. Just a really cool moment. Until we eventually get this whole thing of like, okay, what is this? I forget what the term that Asura particularly used was. The Rushihara, presumably something very traumatic to Kyoshi's past. I don't know. Just really, really interesting, and I cannot wait to find out more about it as this series goes on, because, like, yeah, it definitely seems like, right, final villain's being introduced here, but it doesn't seem like Kyoshi's going to be able to beat him, which I hope is the case, because I would love to see more of Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi as time goes on. Like, it just seems really, really fun, so yeah. At the very end of the chapter, like, Kyoshi, like, thinking about to the old demon, or Yamada, I think was his name, who taught him a bunch of things, like, hey, take a deep breath, and we see Kyoshi do this, until Vinji's like, hey, I'm going to exercise the hell out of you. You're messing with my town, I'm going to mess with you. Really, really cool moment on Mexican Kyoshi. Akane Banashi, pretty neat. Yeah, we learned more about Master Kyoru Kashiwara, which still is a really bang-on name. I just like saying it. Kiroku Kashiwara. I just like the Kashiwara. It just like rolls off the tongue very easily. And as a American, yes, thank you, because I have a hard time pronouncing Japanese things, and I took 3 semesters of it in high school. So, yeah, but pretty cool chapter of Kane Banashi, learning more about that, learning more about how Hisho and Shigema sort of like begged them to do the whole thing. And like the very end of the chapters, like bring in this new mystery of like, okay, who is this, whoever guy? I'm not going to pull up the chapter because I don't think I really care this second. Like, who is this guy? What is his whole big deal at the end of the day? I don't know. Found it pretty interesting and cool. Good issue of Kane Banashi. I'm also going to put it up there above the pack for like all of these guys for sure. Blue Box, oh god, there's no other chapter that deserves to go up here as much. Blue Box is just very, very good. That is what I like to say, as I call it here in the business. Like, I did not think that Shinatsu would be going to her father off rip and just like, hey, I'm dating Taiki, I hope you know that. And then his reaction of, okay, you're coming to live with me now. You are staying here for basketball and basketball only. Like, that's what we all probably expected, but like, I really liked how he's sort of seen in these moments, like, it almost seems like her father's a monster when he really isn't. He's just a guy. He just cares about his daughter, and he wanted to be with her, I'm guessing, but like, it's such an interesting thing, and like, the whole thing of like, where Chidata says like, hey, that's the most hurtful thing you could have said to me right now. I don't know, it's just very mysterious thing about all of this, and I just really, really like it. Yeah, great moment. At the very end of the chapter, with the whole thing of Taiki going up and going to Chinatsu, like, hey, my name's Taiki Inamata, and I will be staying with you. Oh, so good. Like, that is the reason I went ahead and put Taiki down as my character of the week, because, like, going through these chapters, Undead Unlock, yeah, I don't know, maybe Juez, but, like, it was sort of her and Victor who did everything. Won't X just Kyoshi, like, yeah, Kyoshi looked badass. Blue Box, we're talking about that right now. Like, Kagurabachi, I don't think Samura deserves it, and Aruha just got, like, murked, like, off, right? Like, maybe Keenpa from Astro Royale, like, maybe Isho probably needs it at some point, like Ichi, but, like, there's no character who I just stood up and said, oh my god, Taiki, I love you, I want to hug you, you're such a good guy, than, like, in this chapter, so, yeah. Taiki easily got my character of the week down here for Taiki from Blue Box. Like, such an awesome moment. That chapter's going high up there. Elusive Samurai. It was a good Elusive Samurai chapter. I enjoyed it. We're getting more of this whole thing going on. I had totally forgotten that Nezu had, like, a bride. I remember, like, he wasn't, like, formally part of his family or whatever, but, like, even if that was the case, but whatever happens, a good-ass chapter of Elusive Samurai. I mean, or that's not what I'm getting at here. I'm just mincing my words as my thoughts drift away from myself. Oh, yeah. Elusive Samurai. I forgot that Nezu had not his half-brother or whatever. I mean, just something that happens when a series gets to be... How many chapters is Elusive Samurai? Without clicking on it. 181 chapters. Golly, it only feels like 4 years ago whenever I started reading it weekly. That was not a good joke. I'm sorry about that one. Golly, that was not funny. It was funny to me, at least. You know, Elusive Samurai was good. It was fun. But yeah, it's like, I don't remember a whole lot of this, so a lot of it did not have the effect on me that I thought it should. Bottom 3, that's for sure. Let me just type it in here, ELS. Okay, Witch Watch, also very good. Probably that middle of the pack, being the like, oh yes, we're getting a backstory for all of the things that happened so long ago. What happened with Shiranui? I think, yeah, Shiranui is what I think his last name is. I forget his first name at the second, but like the guy who is now showing all of the 4 familiars, like, hey, here's what's going on here. And also just sort of seeing all of the things that are going on here. I hate how it is so obvious that this Kappa guy who gets introduced is just going to die here, because we would have definitely seen more about a Kappa from this point so far, and, like, if this guy doesn't die here, and, like, the way that... it's so obvious, by the way, that, who's her face, the old woman who brings, Shiranui in, and she's like, oh yes, he seems like he's going to be the heart of the party, and it's like, no, you cannot say that. Like, that is, like, the most, like, death flag triggering phrase I think I may have ever heard of my life, but, like, just seeing how this is going to go, and being that we have gone about a year in Witch Watch without having one of these very serious arcs, has been a lot of, like, these minor things where, like, maybe it's, like, a 2 to maybe a 3-chapter arc at most. I don't even think we've had, like, a 3-chapter arc this year, besides for, like, maybe just carrying over, like, oh yeah, Nico's doing this little thing of, like, yeah, whatever. I mean, maybe you could call that, like, whenever Mii Tsuchikawa was introduced, the girl with the genie. Maybe you could call it that, but I'm not really so sure that counts at the end of the day, but yeah, no. Really cool from Witch Watch giving us these characters' backstories, and also, like, the very end of the chapter, we get introduced to these 2 antagonist witches. Oh, what I was going to say a minute ago there was, I'm sorry, I can lose my train of thought so easily when I do not have a manga chapter in front of me to go off like a script on, but no. we've not had a serious arc from Witch Watch in a while, so we are sort of due for one, being that, like, the Day of the Disaster ended about this time last year in Witch Watch, so I don't know, really cool. Being this is a part 1, I totally expect this to be like a 3 or 4 part little arc here where we learn about what is going on with, of course, Miss Ibuki as a child. I think, what is his name? Genki or Genji, who is Morito's dad. Seeing how that works, and with Khan's father, and also, like, I love how they mentioned, like, Miharu's father and stuff too. Witch Watch is probably my favorite series I read in Jump. It's just, I love Witch Watch. I love Kenta Shinohara as an author. I loved Astrolost in Space. I love their work. So yeah, I'm also just very much inclined to enjoy this new arc that we are going on in Witch Watch. So definitely probably higher up in the pack too. But yeah, with that, let's now get all of these actually ranked here as we go on. Best chapter of the week, I don't want to give it to Blue Box, being that Blue Box was good, but I don't think it was deserving of it either. I honestly think that Undead Unluck was just, like, such a high peak there. I honestly think just because of my enjoyment factor of it, Witch Watch will be coming next, followed by, I think, Blue Box, and then we'll put in Ulti X-Row Key. Oh no, that's on the totally wrong line. Let me fix that. Okay, enter. There we go. Ultimate X-Row Kiyoshi. Very good chapter through and through. Alright, these bottom few, definitely Shinobi Undercover. I mean, it's gotten it for the past 5 weeks. Yeah, it's gotten it for the past 5 weeks straight, and then Kill Blue gets it for the while before Hakutaku is in here. But yeah, no. I don't know. I think I may give Shinobi Undercover, like, 1 or 2 more chapters, but if it doesn't hook me any further, I think I'm probably going to drop it, because, I mean, it's good, but it's just, like, nothing special. I mean, I like what it's going for, but I don't know, it's just not that something yet. Actually, let me open these up a little bit to give this Room series to breathe. Right, yeah, Shinobi Undercover, there we go. Next up is Kill Blue. Another series, like, if it doesn't catch me, I may drop it. But hey, Tenma Tendo showed up in this week's chapter, along with the Justice Guy. My 2 favorite characters in the series, because they are just weirdos. I love Tenma Tendo. If Tenma Tendo showed up more often, these Kill Blue chapters would be higher up, in my opinion, because Tenma Tendo is just such a cool character. I don't know why I like him so much. Alright. ELU, Elusive Samurai. There we go. Alright, now we have the rest of these. So Blue Box we already ranked. Let me just get these in a line here. I love being able to hit the button that just lets me copy things back and forth. It makes life literally so much easier. Okay. Okay. So Kagurabachi, Ichi the Witch, Astro Royale, Akane Banashi, Hunter x Hunter, Syd Craft, and Hematin. Oh, golly. I think, yeah, Kagurabachi will go next. I think I would definitely rank Kagurabachi higher if I had not been spoiled on it so absolutely much. Kagurabachi. There we go. Ichi the Witch, Astro Royale, Akane Banashi, Hunter x Hunter. Okay, I think Syd Craft, I hate to do it to a new series, but, like, I just think it's got to go next on the list. Like, it just wasn't that interesting, in my opinion. Syd, C-R-A, C, if I could type C-R-R-A-F-T, Syd Craft. Also, what's up with the main character's name literally being Syd Craft? Like, I did not expect that walking into this series, but whatever. I guess it was semi-entertaining. Then probably Hunter x Hunter, followed by Hema-Tin. Yeah, it feels pretty fair to me there. You know what? No. Yeah, Astro Royale. R-O-Y, Astro Royale, we'll put there next. Ichi Witch and Akane Banashi. Which one was better? Ichi Witch got introduced things, Akane Banashi. I think Akane Banashi barely wins this one out, but Ichi the Witch was also absolutely amazing. Like, I definitely think that everything above maybe Syd Craft to Hunter x Hunter were all, like, just great chapters in their own right. Like, I've got no problems with really any of these besides, like, yeah, they may not be as interesting as some other things. So, Akane Banashi, and then Ichi the Witch. Alright, there we go. Simple as that. Well, I know this was not a full episode of this series, but I hope you guys did enjoy this little rambling I did. I don't even know how long this has gone on for. By what looks on my computer clock, I can tell this is probably, let me just check my phone here real quick. How long have I been recording this for? 30 minutes! Oh golly, I did not intend to do that, but I don't know. I guess if I just want to ramble about Shonen Jump, I want to ramble about Shonen Jump, so yeah. We had some good chapters here this week, nothing like, quite like the breaker of the mold stuff, but all pretty good. Again, let's just go through the rankings. Undead Luck, Witch Watch, Blue Box, Ultimate Exus Kyoshi, Kagurabachi, get on, like, it's down here, Kagurabachi, Astro Royale, Kanebanashi, Ichi the Witch, Hematin, Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter, whatever you like to call it. Syd Craft, Love is a Mystery, the new series this week. Elusive Samurai, Kill Blue Shinobi Undercover. Again, for issue number 51 of 2024. Of course, released here in the States on the 17th of November of 2024. I chose Taiki from Blue Box as my character of the week because Taiki, you are a great guy for doing that at the end of the day. And yeah, Rude Dragon also had that mini chapter, but we can't really count that. I mean, it was just a cute little image of a koi, but yeah, whatever. Thank you guys for watching. I'm not going to do like a massive like, hey, follow me on all of these things, but if you want to do that, check the description docs down below. I've got some links in there, and I think I probably need to add a few because like I don't think my blue sky's down there, and with how the hellscape of Twitter or X is going, I probably need it down there. So that's going to be me for this video, this long one that I expected to be maybe 15 minutes, and I rambled for, golly, 30 minutes on, but yeah. Pretty neat there. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time for probably issue number 52, maybe, or maybe not. Who knows? I may ramble on, I may not. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. This will be Glowplasma231, signing out. Or Glowplasma after I rebranded the channel. I don't know. I need to stop rambling. See you guys later. Glowplasma231, signing out. Or Glowplasma out.